Good afternoon, everybody. So recently, during Google I/O, Google announced something called Android L, which is the next generation of Android that I'm actually currently running right now. You can actually download the developer preview off of the Android developer website, and pretty much anybody can, as long as you know how to do the fast boot thing. You can pretty much get Android L running on your smartphone. Right now, pardon me on that. Right now, you can only get Android L, the Android L developer preview, if you're running if you have a Nexus 5 or the new Nexus 7, which was released last summer, the Nexus 7 tablet. So right now, it's only Android L. The developer preview is only for reference Google devices only, like the Nexus line of phones. I do hear that the Nexus 4 and some other older Android handsets will be getting Android L, the developer preview soon, some older Nexus devices. But for right now, it's just the Nexus 5 and the Nexus 7. So last night, I installed it and booted it up, and I just want to give you guys, some quick first impressions on what using Android L on a day-to-day basis is like. First of all, I really love how Google has redone the drop-down notifications bar. In the past, if you do one swipe, it'll only show you your notifications. If you do another swipe, even longer swipe, you can let me toggle Wi-Fi actually. Good. So I should get Wi-Fi now instead of using up precious cellular data. So if you do that double swipe down there, you actually have a quick toggle. In the past, quick toggle was a widget that you had to put on your home screen. Now, you can do the quick toggle thing straight from just doing a one swipe and then two swipes. You're doing two swipes down from the top of the top. So that has a really nice UI touch, in my opinion, and it's really helped in day-to-day use, especially given that I don't do auto brightness. I actually adjust brightness manually depending on where I am, and that really helps a lot, because in the past, I had to swipe down and then hit brightness and then go to the center of the screen and then, move that around. So that's really welcome. That's really a welcome UI change. Another big thing that Google has been talking about is this thing called material design, which is supposedly their new design language, much like how Microsoft came up with Metro a little while ago. The best way to describe like a material design app, so to speak, a couple of apps have actually been redesigned for material design, is perhaps the calculator up here. So gone are like the hollow, alien theme of the KitKat and Android for the 4.0 era. Now you see everything's clearly defined by color. So, for example, in this calculator app, you have all of your addition function keys right here in light gray, and then you have all your numbers in darker gray. You have your output right here in a white screen. So everything seems in material design is zoned by color, which looks really nice and it's actually easy on the eyes. Speaking of easy on the eyes, I would like to pop open the settings menu right here. And one of the things I really loved so far is the fact that, how in older versions of Android, the settings screen was dark. It wasn't bad. It was certainly legible and readable, but switching from really dark gray to solid white actually helps in terms of just looking at it. It just looks much better, especially on a high contrast display like this. It makes it easier to look at, in my opinion, than the old darker settings screen. And you'll notice that if you try to do the rubber banding, it doesn't do the rubber banding thing anymore. Or the old rubber banding was kind of like how there would be like a blue hue that would appear and then it would disappear once you let it go. Now instead of that hue, you have like that dark shade thing. So I guess it's because Apple's patent on the rubber banding thing still has not expired yet, and Google doesn't want to, risk running afoul of Apple at all. Now, the biggest thing I've noticed in my day-to-day use of Android L, I've only been using it for a single day, is how fast the battery goes. compared to KitKat compared to KitKat. And that's totally understandable because this is a developer preview and nothing, the kernel's probably not optimized yet, but if you're thinking about installing Android L onto your Nexus 5 or Nexus 7, it's definitely something to keep an eye on because, for example, if I was using my phone, I would lose like 3% in 15 minutes. Just looking at my phone and reading Flipboard or whatever, compared to like 1% every like 10 minutes. So definitely battery life takes a hit when you're running the Android L preview. Overall, I mean, let me see, are widgets still here? Yeah, widgets are still here. Somebody said their widgets weren't there anymore. So overall, that's just a really quick overview of Android L after about a day's worth of use. I will probably continue to run Android L on my Nexus 5, despite the battery hit, but so far, I'm liking it. If there's one thing I also like to notice is that it feels like there's like a greater amount of touch latency. See, there's like that small little bit of lag when you are, or perhaps it's just not as responsive, or maybe it's just trying to draw. It doesn't, Android L, I mean, the new animations are great, when how the calculator app just draws up from the bottom. I feel as if, that's a little bit of a performance hit and it's taking away from the overall responsiveness of KitKat in general. But that's something that Google's probably going to rectify over the next couple of months as Android L becomes more mature and gets released. And, yeah, that's really about it. I wonder what Google is going to call this, Android L. I mean, is it going to be like Android Lollipop or something, or... I mean, hard to say. I mean, they did go with KitKat. They did go with a licensed name, so it's hard to tell if they'll be going with something L related this time around. Hard to say. But overall, I think the new UI is definitely a good step in the right direction, and it looks nice. It's easy on the eyes. It reminds me vaguely of Microsoft's Metro and how stark everything is. But then again, it's all about putting content first before everything else. So. And also, the bottom buttons right here, very PlayStation-esque, I would say. So overall, should you install Android L onto your Nexus 5 or Nexus 7? If you like to live life on the edge and don't mind taking a hit on battery life, then definitely do so. But again, in terms of overall day-to-day usage, one more thing, actually. Another thing I've noticed is that some apps actually crash when you try to launch because they're not optimized for Android L yet. For example, like Bacon Reader, Baconit, or whatever that Reddit app is called, it crashes upon launch, and so does Microsoft Office Mobile. If I can show you right here briefly, I actually uninstalled it, but let's reinstall it just so I can explain what I'm talking about. And if I install right here. It actually crashes when you try to launch it, which is a bit of a pity in my opinion. But then again, Microsoft Office Mobile has only supported KitKat only, and nothing but KitKat, so that's totally understandable. But if you're going to use this as your day-to-day, definitely keep the fact that some apps don't work properly right now, and the fact that you'll, again, like I mentioned, take a hit on battery life. See, again, crashes and brings up the calculator for some reason. So yeah, that's it for Android L. At any rate, thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more. Good. So I hope everybody has a good evening.